please join me in welcoming her. She's traveled far to join us today, Sairee.
Good morning. Thank you for being here, everyone. I'm really glad we could get together this morning, and I'm going to talk a little bit about feminization of work. It sounds like a big topic, but before I go anywhere, I want to share with you a little story. I landed here at the San Francisco airport, and a woman named Maya picked me up, and I had a long flight, a 26-hour long flight, and I got in the car and we got talking. So Maya told me she used to work as a CTO for one of the companies in the Valley, and she's been a stay-at-home mom for about 8 years now. And now she basically consults with startups. She helps this friend out with her organic farm, and she does a couple of things. And within 5 minutes of landing, all my jet lag was gone, and we were talking, and it just sort of came alive. And then I go back. I booked a place on Airbnb, which is run by this fabulous lady called Carol. And Carol is somebody who has embraced the organic way of life. She runs this really lovely open home with 3 cats, a son who's 11-year-old, and there's a life around that. But half a day into the conversation, we got together, we had tea and conversation. And the thing that struck me most was that everything that I was going to say, or everything that I came prepared with, these women were epitomes of that. Everything that I have learned about the changes in the workplace, the trends in the workplace, everything that is happening with the future of work and the feminization of work is this. Feminization of work technically sounds like a really big term, but all it means is getting women equal access to opportunities, resources, inclusion, redistribution, realignment of priorities, so on and so forth. And I want to share with you a couple of points that I have learned and which both these women sort of brought alive for me. Number one, the sharing economy. I think the world is headed towards more sharing. And the fact that we're all sitting here, we're sharing, it's technically not a business conference. We're talking about ideas. And I think as the mankind progresses from having solved some of our basic problems, the sharing economy is where we're all going to go, because that's who we are. Humans are meant to connect. The second thing, it's enabled by technology. We sort of live, breathe, talk technology all the time. And the fact that I got onto Airbnb, booked a space, landed, never saw this person before, but now perhaps she's going to be a friend for life. And that's how we're going to sort of build our relationships, our future. And technology is going to sort of play a lot out for us. Unlocking discretion. So it turns out Carol uses Maya to help her out every time she has an extra load of guests. And Maya, if she was in a corporate setup, or she had followed the template that, what we call a pre-industrialization template, she would have been, a blue-suited CTO who wouldn't want to ferry around guests. But things have changed. We all are driven by a search for meaning, a search for doing things we truly care about. And so unlocking discretion is truly a trend that workplaces are either going to adopt or will have to adopt. What else? Talent from all. We need everyone on the table, and I'm really inspired to hear what James had to say this morning. We need all hands on the deck, but more than that, we need what everyone is thinking in terms of their ideas. We need that sharing to get us all together and bring a sense of harmony into where we are headed as a civilization more than anything. In terms of trends at workplace, there is this whole movement of people who are saying, let us let us change the paradigm. Let us break the formats. And I think that's pretty much explains how future of work is going to be. The fact that we are going to bring in a sense of fluidity. We are going to bring in a sense of, so let me explain it this way. We spent as a civilization about 200, 250 years putting together really stiff, siloed structures in place. And today, where we are, and those siloed structures really imply that we were very hung up on what our designation is going to be, which is my cubicle, what does my nameplate say, what is my, what's the size of my car perhaps, what's the size of my paycheck, and there are a whole lot of these predefined measures of success which we all grew up with. They sort of told us this is what it looks like, this is what it's supposed to be, and we all sort of lived our lives working towards that. But as I look across, as I talk to hundreds of startups, as I talk to women across the globe, each one of us is going to find our own measure of success. Each one of us is going to carve out what looks like a work-life blend to us. Each one of us might come to a point where we say, hey, I don't need to fit in, I can carve out my own road. And increasingly, thanks to the fluidity of information, thanks to what technology enables us, thanks to the diversity of cultures, diversity of the fact that the exchange of people, I was hearing Gina speak about her parentage, and I think there will come a time when a whole lot of baggage that we've traditionally carried in terms of who we are and where we want to go is going to change. It's going to change fundamentally. In terms of future of work, I always think about when our kids have their careers 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what would their workday look like? Would they have jobs? Would they go to offices? Would they do the same competitive exams? I don't know, but my guess is that's not how they would like it to be, because the way we are bringing them up is very different from how we were brought up. We had a goalpost to go to. We were born and we were told high school is a milestone, a college is a milestone, a job is a milestone. But I'm not sure whether our kids are going to embrace that so easily, because one, it's a generation that says, do I question or do I comply? And my guess is they're not going to comply so easily. Their access to information, their access to skills, their access to the world is so beautifully large that they are not going to comply so easily, which means each one of our children is perhaps going to chart their own road. We may also have to relook at how institutions come about, how institutions rethink their own paradigms. So if we were a generation that grew up with the haloed success of the top hundreds and the top thousands and the ratings culture, I'm not sure whether that is exactly how it is going to be in the future. Or maybe we will still have ratings, but what we rate will change. The interconnectedness of it all will make decision making more complex, and I think our children will be much better placed to look at it than we ever were. I also think there is a very interesting trend in the workplace, which is every civilization has a concept of diversity of energy. And when I say diversity of energy, you can look at a whole range of parameters. So there's the whole psychometric coaching camp which says introvert, extrovert. There's this whole Eastern way of life which talks about the chakra energy within a human body. There's 7 chakras in a human body, and they sort of decide who we are and what works for us and what doesn't. There's a camp which believes in the right brain, the left brain. There's a camp which believes in introvert, extrovert, the male energy, the female energy, the spiritual energy, and the rational and the emotional energy. And I think we all have come to a point where we need to harmonize this. We need to change the flow of energy from being an aggressive, resource-gathering society to a more creative, constructive society. It also is a call for us to question, what if I change my measure of success? What if it became, did I eat fresh food today? Did I get sunlight? Did I have a good conversation? If we change the measure of success for us, the whole paradigm shifts. And for a moment, I urge you to think, what if the most pressing problems of the world could be solved by somebody who was not invited to the table? Thank you.